Hi Scorpios, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Extended Monthly Tarot for December 2023. Just a quick shout out to everybody who gave me well wishes while I have been feeling under the weather and my daughter is feeling better. Thank you to everybody in the comments. I just wanted to say that before we jump off. It is Sagittarius season, right? And so we might be feeling the pace picking back up in our lives, okay? November for you, Scorpio, was really a lot about secrets that your shadow has to reveal, okay? And what's very interesting about the reading I did for you at the end of November is, which you can go back and reference, is how you were really being encouraged to embrace your shadow, kind of like breaking the mold in a sense, right? Because we're stepping out of the Capricorn shadows or Capricorn paradigm shadow and enter the Aquarian age. And for a lot of us water signs, you know, this is pretty powerful, okay? And I really honestly believe like Scorpios and Pisces specifically too, when it comes to like the deep work, I mean, Cancers too have all been about, you know, stepping into their power. And for Scorpios and Pisces, I'm really keep getting this message of patience. And when we can actually accept patience in our lives, okay? Because we do see it in our dream. You know, we can see it, feel it, taste it in our dreams. And when it doesn't come into the 3D world, in the 3D time frame, you know, that can really cause some frustration, right? And then we revert back into the shadow, keeping us safe, okay? So we've been like kind of pushing past that, right? Accepting our shadow for what it is, not allowing it to keep us in some negative patterns of, you know, thinking or acting or speaking. But what I find very fascinating is Venus is going to be in your sign in December, right? And this can really push us to remain authentic to ourselves, okay? So for you specifically, Scorpios, you might notice in December some energy that feels combative or confrontational when it comes to you being your authentic self, okay? So that's the thing is like, November was all about that shadow work, right? Going within, not allowing your shadow to deceive you, right? Because you've been having some wonderful energy as far as, you know, especially since August, like things, you know, working out, but then that fear of like the rug getting pulled out from underneath you. And when we celebrate, you know, we can unfortunately go back into toxic cycles, you know. I mean, overindulgence is a thing with water signs. And so now that we are feeling the, you know, at peace, if you will, with the duality of our spirit, you might have some energy from like this past identity almost, you know what I mean, where like people are like, oh, like you're different, or you know what I mean? There's sometimes that contrast, right? But remember that at the end of November, that full moon in Gemini was really encouraging us to accept differences of opinions in order to move forward. Now, accepting doesn't mean agreeing, okay? See, that's the problem, is like a lot of people think like, oh, well, I have to then be okay with how this person is. It's more about, okay, redirecting your energy to hear other people out, right? And as water signs, we do that, okay, naturally. Like we want to hear people, we want to understand people, okay? So that I feel like a lot of that influence might be coming from outside, but just a reminder, everything outside is a reflection of within somewhere. And then that prompts us to, you know, go within, right? But you did get this too. I do want to say something really quick too, because this popped up at the bottom of the deck when I was clearing the cards and getting it set for Scorpio. And there is this really big opportunity for you to level up when it comes to your financial health, you know what I mean? And I really think it's important. When I was shuffling and clearing the crystal cards, the one at the bottom of the deck was free will. So I do think, unfortunately, these triggers, again, triggers come from your shadow, these triggers could possibly prompt some of you to go back into some toxic thinking or behavior. All right. So just pay attention. Like when people trigger you, it's not to let that be an excuse for certain behaviors or activities. Okay, Scorpios? So let's just quickly you actually had one of the longer introductions, because I do think Scorpio energy is going to be really powerful in December, even though it's Sagittarius and Capricorn season. But December 6th, Neptune goes direct in Pisces, all right, a fellow water sign. And this is going to be wonderful for the collective. It's going to be easier to hold on to faith and trust, okay? Now, I want you to really pay attention to that throughout all of the possible confrontational energy that you might be hit with in December, okay? And then this is what's great on the 12th is the new moon in Sagittarius is offering us all a new perspective, okay? So this is going to be really helpful when it comes to any energy, you know, that rubs you the wrong way, if you will, right? Because if you have changed, I mean, this is what I always felt like, oh, you've changed. You know, like as if that's a bad thing. And actually, that is something I wanted to touch on. I do think collectively, if there would be a theme that I could say for December, the collective energy is emotional evolution. Okay, we're meant to evolve, all right? People talk about physical evolution, but we don't really touch on conscious evolution that much. And we are going through that. And so that's why you do see the polarities in the collective. That's why you see people so strongly pushing to sides, right? Because it's it's resistance, it's the shadow, it's the fear, right? The Capricorn paradigm's shadow is all about divide and conquer type of energy. And so, we're seeing that fear playing out, but it's just, if you can show the new perspective of we are entering the Aquarian age, and so sometimes we have to see things we don't want to see in order to clear it and move forward, okay? So yeah, just pay attention to that. Here's where it gets a little challenging is December 13th, Mercury retrograde begins. So a reminder, you know, we had that Eight of Wands popping out, which is like, it's Sagittarius, indicating rapid communication, forward moving, you know, really fast. And then we're getting hit with Mercury retrograde in the middle of the month, all right? So be mindful. This retrograde, be mindful of, know thyself and nothing in excess, Scorpios, okay? You are don't let the energy play with the energy, okay? Because Mercury retrograde, any retrograde, is a time to reevaluate, replenish, reassess, okay? And Mercury is the planet of communication. So you really want to go within, all right? This is, as far as, you know, water signs, Scorpios being creative, this would be a wonderful time to work on some art, do some journaling. If, you know, you've been wanting some sort of if you're in a line of communication or like poetry, you know what I mean? Like something that you can allow your shadow to have a little discussion with you, if you will, through your communication with yourself, okay? I think it's going to be really wonderful because we just had on the 12th, a new moon giving us a new perspective, okay? And so if we can utilize that retrograde of slowing down to do some planning, okay? Like if you're trying to launch something, like that's the perfect time to do the planning, because all of this new perspective can really give you some really enlightening, empowering ideas for how to move forward once Mercury goes direct, okay? And then December 21st, we have Capricorn season starting. So we will have that urge to get to work, if you will, right? And hopefully we'll have that discipline to see our dreams come into fruition. Now, the most important thing I think is December 26th, the full moon in Cancer, a fellow water sign. A lot of water energy in December, okay? And remember, you know, Venus is going to be in Scorpio. A lot of water energy. And so reminder, the power of water, all of my favorite astrologers like Pam Gregory and Heather Ensworth talking about the power of water. We want to really be mindful that we're in the mindset of where we're going, not where we've been or not where we are, okay? Because the Aquarian age, we really want to promote that with our thinking, all right? And so the more we focus, and trust me, I'm not just speaking to all of you, it's myself included. It's so easy to get bogged down into the division, because if you go on social media, if you go on any type of media, it's there, okay? So this full moon in Cancer is so powerful because it is about emotional closures and optimistic endings to sensitive matters, all right? And so this is another thing that the astrology touches on for December, is we're rebuilding our foundation. So remember, like, this might seem, as far as, you know, the 3D timeline, like the full moon in Capricorn in July really ushered in that crumbling, right? And now we're getting into the rebuilding, okay? So bear with that too when it comes to patience. When, like, you know, we just want to be where we want to be. But the more we can take pride in the rebuilding, okay? And again, why Mercury retrograde is so important, because we can take time to laser focus where our foundations might have a little bit of, have some cracks or some instability. This clearing, though, on December 26th is, I think, going to feel very cathartic for the collective, but especially for water signs. We also on the 26th have Chiron in Aries, which is healing insecurities. So there, I think, is going to be very important for you, Scorpios, if you do have people, you know, oh, like, you've changed, or why, you know, like, I just got like the visual of, you know, and this isn't going to apply to anybody, but, you know, you were a big partier, right? Like, I'm a Pisces, trust me, I understand this. In a prior life, I get this, like, you know, you were the one who was the most boisterous and happy, you know, person who was intoxicated, or, you know what I mean? And like, now you've decided to get really focused on your career or your health, and people see that as, oh, like, come on, just one drink, or, oh, you're not going to do, you know, it's like this questioning that could be a trigger, right? And like, and insecurities come from that too. I mean, a big reason why a lot of people do, you know, feel more comfortable intoxicated, loosens those insecurities, right? But so because I remember there was years, like 2 decades ago, I got on this like really big health kick, right? And I wasn't drinking, and the pressure that people would put on, you know, because it made them uncomfortable, right? Again, projection. So don't accept other people's insecurities as your own. It's very easy as water signs that we absorb other people's energy and think it is our own, okay? So remember, water absorbs any energy that it's around. So that's where we need to have patience. We need to use that Mercury retrograde to really find our power to allow our energy to be the energy that affects the water that we are, okay? But yeah, that Chiron in Aries is a healing insecurities, okay? So remember that, like, we don't want to see it in the negative, okay? And then here's what's lovely is December 30th, we have Jupiter direct in Taurus, all right? Do not revert back in fear, okay? Because of everything that you had in your November astrology. Do not revert back to old habits, old patterns, old relationships, old careers out of fear, okay? Because everything that you have been focusing on expanding during Jupiter retrograde, it's turning direct, right? This is where it comes into the 3D world. This is where that expansion comes into the 3D world. So don't revert back in fear, okay, Scorpios? All right, because yeah, judgment, all right? Liberate yourself, answer the wake-up call, and stay focused within. So let's see what we got for Scorpios for December 2023. Also, too, like, I had this weird visual. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be good when, if you can if you can work with the astrology. And just a quick reminder too that Stillwater Alchemy, they have wonderful week-to-week astrological updates. like an astrology forecast, and that could really help you, especially like I said, with how much water energy there is in December, and how much, Venus and Scorpio is going to be very important, not only for love with others, but love for yourself and love within. But I had, for some reason, Zoolander popped in my head, and when he's having his existential crisis and he's looking in the reflection and he goes, who am I? Like, that's literally what I got for Scorpios. Like, was that kind of energy. So really, I mean, Pisces got this message a lot, either last month or the month before, but like the movie Frozen and Elsa, when she dives into the waters of the unconscious, like the collective unconscious of where all the secrets and the shadow of Arendelle are held, right? Like, that's that type of energy that we can really utilize. And then with that full moon in Cancer, like, clear it, okay? So just keep that in mind, all right, Scorpios? Amazing. Somebody else got this card as the situation. I think it was Leo's. So if you have any Leo placements, do pay attention to that. And love seeing that. Okay. This is amazing. Oh my God. Okay, I'm getting chills right now. I love this so much for you, Scorpios. All right, overall energy for the month of December is the Ace of Cups. This is replenishing your emotions and that being a priority for you, all right? It's an emotional fresh start. Okay, so this is the overall energy. This is the situation. This is what we want to get basically out of this month for you, okay? Obviously, too, if you have like strong Pisces placements too, there's a lot of Pisces energy in here. So we'll dive into this more too, because I think a lot of this is related to Saturn, because Saturn is in Pisces, right? And it went direct at the beginning of November. And Saturn is our shadow. It's our challenges, our blocks, our fears, okay? But this is really about you, an emotional fresh start for you. That's where when you see people with challenging energy, it's not meant that you have to revert back to what makes them comfortable, okay? That you just have to stay true to yourself, okay, Scorpios? All right, I find this pretty cool. Like, so now I'm getting clarity of why you saw this. Okay, so the King of Coins is what you need more of, all right? You need to have more patience. You need to have like a sense of understanding that delayed gratification can pay off, okay? Tantric just popped in my head now. Like, this is not a reading related to anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, there's a message of this delayed gratification and paying off, okay? Like, you have to have the patience to nurture the seeds that you've planted, and have faith, the faith that's coming in with Neptune direct in Pisces, that is going to come to fruition, okay? So you really need to have patience. You really need to have confidence and know, like, this is you, right? So you really have to embolden that embody that energy too, because you have to be the person you want to be and not just wait to be the person you want to be, if that makes sense, okay? But this is amazing to see because you have the Eight of Coins in the position of what you have the right amount of, okay? So this is having, keeping your vibration high, knowing that doing the work is going to pay off. Like, there's some sense of like satisfaction in your work, okay? And so whatever it is you are working on, if it's career, relationship, your health, whatever it is, like, you do have a good grasp of keeping your vibration high doing it. There's something that's giving you some sort of motivation, even when it comes to, like, the boring work. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is something where it's just like, oh my God, like, I have to go through this. Like, you don't want to have that. Like, you want to be like, I'm learning this to take me to the next level. So you could be taking a course. This can also be related, like, if you have like an online store and you're selling something, you know what I mean? Like, learning, like, okay, SEO, maybe I need to figure out more about SEO and how that can help the visibility of my store. So this is a perfect opportunity of December, like I said, because especially during that Mercury retrograde time, like mid-December, to take a free course, even just go on YouTube and like, how can SEO help me, or what even is SEO if you don't know, right? So there's something here of an opportunity to be able to learn more about what you're doing, and it keeping your vibration high, because the more knowledge you have, the more you empower yourself, the more that this is, right? Like this person, they worked their way to the top, okay? And they're going to stay at the top because of the confidence that they have and the generosity. Because this is a card too. The King of Coins is also dependable and loyal, all right? And so that's really important. And that dependability and loyalty needs to be to yourself too. So the moon is in an area of what you need less of. All right, this is something that's interesting, because we need less of the dreaming and more of the actual 3D application right now. Okay, it's easy to get lost in dreams. It's easy to get lost in your imagination. It's easy to get lost in escapism. Okay, and so I really think this is indicating to me personally that we need to get out of our heads and get to work, okay? Because your shadow can play tricks on you, right? This is intuition and imagination, but it's also subconscious, right? And if our subconscious has these fears, these insecurities, it could actually work against us, right? And revert back into escapism. Okay. This is amazing. So the Eight of Cups is an area of what you can change. And this is Saturn in Pisces. So a reminder, Saturn is in Pisces right now, and it is direct, all right? It's facing those challenges, moving past the blocks, the fears, the insecurities. And the Eight of Cups is all about following a new path, okay? It's all about leaving a stagnant situation behind, or even a stagnant relationship. Like I said, so much of this really feels like there's a lot of energy from your past that isn't aligned with the work, the emotional evolution that has been taking place within you, okay? And so it's a time to really reassess this and really realign. And the cups are emotions, okay? It's okay to move in a new direction, right? It's okay to liberate yourself from like the shadows, shackles that it had on you, okay? It's okay to embrace your shadow, right? There's nothing wrong with understanding why people act the way they do because of the shadow, right? Trying to keep them safe. So remember, you can do this transformation, whatever it is. Take it how it resonates. It can be career, it can be relationships, it can just be a personal, internal, emotional evolution. So, but Spirit really wants you to know that that is within your control to change, okay? And I think, again, just got to go back to this. I really think it has to do with the idea of escapism, all right? And like how we can get lost in escapism when things aren't turning out the way we want, or as quickly as we want, or this one thing isn't working out, okay? So like that's to where, keeping your vibration high, and that new perspective that's coming in with that new moon in Sagittarius is going to be so important. Here's what I think is hilarious is the Sun, which is like the most powerful card in the deck, the most abundantly happy, happy confirming card, is in the area of what you need to accept. You need to accept the Sun. You need to accept the gratitude, the confidence, okay? Basking in the joy and the light of the sun. This is where I think it's, because again, what you can change is this new path where you're finding happiness, where you're finding that fulfillment and contentment, even if it's not aligned with people in your environment. You need to stay focused on that, all right? You need to embrace this joy. I'm getting this idea like that it's almost making you uncomfortable. And that's something that where we need to go within and really reflect on that again, especially during that Mercury retrograde time, because it's okay to be like happy. So sorry if that sounds strange, but like maybe a past life energy will clear this up for us a little bit. But like you need to accept like this new identity is really what I'm getting. And so like I said, like it is like some people do get that. Like I've gone through changes, right? Like I've completely changed my life. And there are people like, oh, you've changed, you know, and see as a negative, it's like I've evolved, right? So if anybody questions that, like you're evolving, okay? And if it's past this like, you know, polar contrast that's going on and like, you know, people want you to pick a side even, you know what I mean? Like it's like you got to accept that this where you're finding the happiness is where you're meant to go, okay? Where you're finding that fulfillment. Now, this is what's so amazing to me is the end of the month is ending with the High Priestess. So again, I do believe that this transformation is leading you to this and unlocking that information that is aligned with when your spirit and your shadow combine and shine your inner light exactly who you are, okay? The High Priestess is your intuition. It's ruled by the moon and water, all right? It's seen below the surface. It's looking for answers within. And so like I said, when you don't do it as a form of escapism, but you're doing it as a form of empowerment, okay? There's a difference of escapism versus, you know, doing the hermit journey to empower yourself. This is all about empowering yourself, all right? And so I do think too, when it comes to that energy from the 26th and the 30th, like you're understanding where you know, revert back into fear and whatnot. So take that how it resonates. You're definitely gonna, I just looked at the time, you're gonna have one of the longer readings. Like I think Scorpio energy is gonna really benefit from this reading, okay? So let's get some past life energy to see, you know, actually too, sorry, I just gotta go back to. So like you have the right amount of this and you need more of this, right? So this person here, right? You know, they're doing the work and like they're selling their merch and you're selling their pentacles there, right? They made the plans. Now they're selling them. Here's, you know, like their taxes or something, right? This person evolves into this person. If you can see that all of this work is taking you to here, you got to have that patience, okay? All right, so let's get some past life energy for Scorpios for December 2023. What past life energy is going to help Scorpios December 2023? So yeah, just a reminder to like check your Saturn placement because we really like this is about building resilience, right? We want to go to the next level. We gotta keep that resilience going, okay? And it can be hard. I understand. Trust me. I'm always giving a big warm Pisces hug. Interesting. Okay, so your past life energy is transportation. I'm excited to read this. All right. Now, this past life, if you're a parent, it can be your life before kids. If you're in a long-term committed relationship, your life before that, your childhood or an actual past life, take it how it resonates, okay? This card signifies that you had intense experiences involving transportation in prior lifetimes. This is especially true if you presently have phobias related to airplanes, cars, and so on. And these fears don't disappear as a result of getting traditional counseling or hypnotherapy. In those cases, you likely suffered a traumatic past life event in some type of vehicle which caused you to lose trust in it. You may have been involved in the invention of a form of transportation or related technology, and that knowledge wants to serve you in this lifetime. This includes those who lived during the time of Atlantis, when transportation was fueled by solar and crystal power. Your life purpose may involve reawakening the knowledge of alternative modes of transportation, which could be environmentally beneficial in our world at this time. Okay. So, water. You're a water sign, right? And there has been so much news in the past few years. I mean, it's been decades long, right? But in very recent history about water, hydraulic, oh gosh, now I'm not going to even say it right. Like hydraulic run cars and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And like, I'm thinking too, like if they could do hydraulics with trains. I don't know. This is clearly like a very, very, very small percentage of Scorpios that this is going to apply to. But if you are in some area of like, you know, if you're an inventor or you work in transportation, the power of water, okay? And like clearly water, 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 water. Like there's something here on this hidden knowledge, okay? When it comes to that, very fascinating. I hope that I see in the news soon that there's a Scorpio who like has created some sort of like hydraulic energy for trains, because that would be amazing. Okay. But the amount of water in here, like the power of water is real, okay? All right, let's get an empowering question for Scorpios for the month of December. What empowering question is going to help Scorpios for the month of December? Also, Scorpios, if you do like this reading, please do like the video, share with other people you think it might resonate with, comment, especially to like comment with this transportation. I'm telling you, there's something there with transportation and water specifically. And I do, like, I personally believe in the Aquarian age that the power of water when it comes to, like, that's going to be, water's what going to be what we use for energy, right? When it comes to transportation, okay? And, like, the water stays, it doesn't disappear, okay? It stays, you know what I mean? Like, that, to me, is where our evolution is going, but whatever. Okay. So your empowering question, which I think is perfect for you. How have I become me? What am I like? This is going to be so important when it comes to this emotional fresh start, evolution that is happening for you. When you have those times of doubt, how have I become me and what am I like? All right. Okay. So now let's get some crystal energy for Scorpios for the month of December. Also, please do subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot as well, so that you get notifications of when new videos pop up. And I will be getting to those shadow videos. I was planning on doing that during the November break that my daughter had from school, and then we were just very, very sick. But mid-December, I'm actually planning on doing those. So just a quick recap, though, especially for you, Scorpio, since you're doing so much shadow work. Your rising sign. You see the opposite of your rising sign. That is the part of your shadow that you project, okay? So whatever sign is opposite of your rising, look at the attributes to that, both positive and negative. And then your sun sign, the opposite of your sun sign is what you reject, all right? The part of your shadow you reject. So your shadow part that you project, rising, opposite. The shadow part that you reject, opposite of your sun. All right. And then that can really unlock some information, especially when it comes to the, like for me, for instance, I'm a Pisces sun and my opposite is Virgo. I, reject that, mundane, like routine and, like this constant, like need to like wake up the same day every day, like that is not natural in me. And have rejected it. But when I utilize Virgo energy in my life, wow, do things really turn around and manifest a lot quicker, okay? So take a look at that information and see if you can utilize that this month. Interesting. All right. Your crystal energy is petrified wood, which is past life embrace. Scorpio, there's something really important here with that transportation card. I really hope somebody can comment, because also too, I love to like how similar it is to the sun and needing to accept the sun, right? Interesting. Also, I love petrified wood. It's really good too. It promotes really good health. Like, so if anybody doesn't have any petrified wood, really easy to find. I have it on like a bracelet. Love it. So pick up some petrified wood if you can and carry it around you. But like definitely too, utilize that sun energy. Accept the sun into your life. All right, so let's get one clarifier and then we're going to close this out, Scorpios. I hope you enjoyed this reading. This is an emotional evolution, all right? So stay true to yourself and make sure, you continue showing up and doing the work, okay? Don't let the 3D world get to you. Tune in when you need to do that, but not in a form of escapism, okay? All right, let's get one clarifier for Scorpios and then we're going to close this out. All right. Can we get a clarifier for Scorpios for December 2023. clarifier for Scorpios for December 20. Wow. Scorpios, my hair. The hairs on my arm are standing up. Also, too, because this is really powerful, right? You got Major Arcana, you got a court card. Your clarifier is the Star. This is Aquarius. This is that Aquarian age, all right? This is taking you where you need to be. So please do the work, Scorpios, okay? This is making a wish, right? Following your bliss, all right? Wish upon a star, really, like, as cheesy as it sounds, look out to the sky and wish upon a star and have that faith and trust that Neptune direct in Pisces is giving you this month, all right? This is a fresh start. This is that emotional renewal. Oh, Scorpios, this is so lovely. Giving you a big warm Pisces hug. Have a really wonderful cleansing month of December.